Well, welcome back again. I decided I was at the point of beyond being tired, and I will be casting a Division E West matchup between Lowered Expectations and 210 Blechman Street. If you did join me earlier, I did mention that I was at the point of kind of be a little bit tired, but second wind or delirious, one of those two. We do see us going to Inferno Shrines first. With the Anduin being banned out from the side of 210 Blackman Street. We see the variant being banned out on the side of 210 Blackman Street, and then we see that followed up with a Johanna ban. And let's see what pick we'll be getting. From the side of 210 Blackman Street. You see Phoenix being picked up first by Dominator. That's followed up with a Asmodan pick.
Our world is worth fighting for.
By Telefius. And then May being picked up by Dingo. I was gonna hopefully I'm not muted by itself. That's followed up with a Anubarak by Lloyd. And Asterix picking up that Stukov. We do see Orphea and the Rexstar being banned out. With Raynor now being picked up and Deckard Cain. So with that Asmodan, going to provide a lot of value, I'd imagine, on the objective. We still needing a Bruiser and another DPS on the side of 210 Blackman Street. And there you have it. We have Gazlo and Nazebo. And the last pick on the side of Lowered Expectation being this Sonya. Don't think we're seeing any swaps. But overall, it looks like I would say pretty even. And again, the Asmo a hero that scales. We do have Nazebo, another hero that scales. The Sonya being able again also to provide Shrine Clear and damage into the enemy opponent. So I would say it really depends how far of a gap. If they're even talents, you can make the case that probably, I would say, 210 Blackman Street, just theoretical standpoint. Especially if Nazebo goes that gargantuan. But that's why we play the games and we don't theorize who would win, right? So we do have on the side of lowered expectations, Telefius on the Asmodan the Funk, on the Rainer, Malfrix on the Deckard Kane or Deckard Payne, Dingo on the May, Sonya and Kid Canuck. On the side of 210 Blackman Street, we have Arda on the Gazlo, Lloyd on the Noob, Dominator on the Phoenix, Asterix on the Sukhov, and then Blanchard on the Nazebo. And right away, we see on the side of 210 Blackman Street just getting into lane. We just engage on Dingo, but we'll be able to walk away. Not much in danger, especially with the 4-man mid. We do see Nazebo able to get soak bottom. Sonya rotating top lane to deal with the Gaslow. And 210 not allowing lowered expectations to simply just rotate down. The Rainer being focused, being able to tap, get themselves healthy, and then rotate down with a 4-man. Nazebo backing off. Probably noticing 4 members on the side of lowered expectations there. We do see 210 Blackman Street picking up their own siege camp. And with that, we do see lowered expectations now moving to the bottom siege camp. Well, May zones and distracts. They were looking to try and engage, but they're gonna be able to. Oh, the Phoenix not able to. Well, get saved. Was in danger for a second there. Gets chunked a little bit by that Asmo dunk. All the while we do have our Sonya and our Gaslow doing offlaner stuff. In the top lane, we do see that siege camp trying to do a little bit of damage on the wall. Not much. But oh, Nazebo really low. Looks like he's not going to be able to get away. He does go down. That root from the May slowing him down. First blood on the side of lowered expectations. You see the first shrine being in a top lane. And Sonya picking up the booster camp. In the meanwhile, 2 members of lowered expectations still in the bottom lane. And relatively even on XP, and there you have your talents. Sorry, I didn't show you. We do see this, the low blow on the side of that Sukhov, which can provide some substantial damage. You see Greed being picked up by the level 1 stacking damage. And the Zebo actually went with Thing of the Deep and Blood Ritual, so not opting for the Spider build, but able to get a little bit more range because of that. We do see the Bruiser being picked up by 210 Blackman Street. We do see the root from the Deckard able to get 2 members, but not much came of that. And right away we see 25 quickly picked up by lowered expectations, but Sonya goes down on the side of lowered expectations, and we have members, at least, or Phoenix pursuing that Maeve, but then they back off. And it looks like Sonya will be back in time to contest this one more time, but I'm surprised that the members of 210 Blechman Street weren't focusing on that objective. I guess they were trying to soak for level 7. Sonya will be coming up. And we do see 28 to 30 advantage, or 30, so about 10 for each that are needed. Looks like lowered expectations, be able to push off, but Rainer really low, does go down. We have 34 to 35, only 3 more needed by 210, and they're able to secure that. See the Punisher being baited out. It is an arcane Punisher, so not the strongest of them, but still should be able to provide quite a bit of an advantage. Especially with a new, you do have gas low. Still be the front wall, and about half of that top fort until they're, or 210 Blechman Street decides to back off. All the while, Nazeebo was in the off lane. So again, I guess Nazeebo's the de facto off laner for now, trying to get their stacks going. We do see Asmodan with 50. All the while, we do see Gaslo getting rotated on and likely going to be going down. Able to survive for a little bit longer, but only was delaying the inevitable. And a good kill on the side of lowered expectations. And right away, they began sieging top. While we do see 210 Blechman Street picking up the bottom siege, but I don't know if that's a trade you want to do. They're going to be able to get that top wall at least, and maybe more. And if you're 210, you got to respond to that, or you got to trade value. And they're going to get a little bit of value bottom lane, but that is going to be going down. And so, especially with Mei being able to freeze that with Slush Ball. Again, Snowblind deals 75% damage, and Structures hit are disabled for 3 seconds. So, a mini, as you can say, Sylvanas trait, at least for 3 seconds, that can provide a lot of value here. But we did see 210 be able to get the bottom, which actually lines up very nicely for the next shrine. So you can make the case that after all said and done, that 210 Blechman Street benefited more from that trade. We do have level 10s online for both teams. We have Stay a While and Listen, Tide of Sin, Leap, Avalanche, and Hyperion from the side of Engage. But as I was about to say, what 210 Blechman Street picked, we did see the Flaming Swipe, Gravity Bomb, Planet Cracker, Locust Swarm, and Ravenous Spirit. So interestingly, the Locust Swarm, I mean, Cocoon provides a lot of value here, being able to isolate members and create a 4v5-0 Nazeebo. You're getting hard rotated on, able to get some value. You're gonna mount up, but just like Gaslo, I mean, this is where Gargantuan would have been nice. I would have said, you know what, I'm gonna die for this fort. Just drop Gargantuan on it. But actually, we'll be able to survive with a little bit of health. We do see 210 Blechman Street able to go and pick up their own Bruiser Camp. And actually, both teams do. But I imagine with a catapult in the top lane, it will slightly favor lowered expectations. Both teams level 12 and even Talons. We do see them rotate bottom, get a slight lead ahead, just like last time. And we do see that Sonya quickly picking up 10 of these Shrine Monkeys rather quickly. And so if you're 210 Blechman Street, you don't want to delay this too long. We do have Dragon. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the dark side. We do see a noob joining or diving. The Gravo Bomb missing. Say, oh wow, listen, getting 3 members with Sonya leaping. We do see Phoenix go down. A couple members of Lowered Expectations low. But we do see 210 Blechman Street sticking around. The nuke diving in, but you gotta be careful. Once you're in, he's able to go around the backside. Sonya spinning to winning on the objective. We do see Ravenous Spirit coming out, but not able to secure any kills. And again, I'm surprised they went Ravenous Spirit. That Gargantuan just brings so much value on objectives. And with Siege, this is a frozen Punisher, so again, the strongest of the Punishers, and I'd imagine Lowered Expectations will be able to do quite a bit of damage with this, but we do see only 3 members of the side of Lowered Expectations being able to be here, but with the frozen Punisher and the May Slush Ball effectively turning off this board, we do see Sailor Listen. Oh, and with that chunk, Sonya Leap, we do see Gasol being able to slightly peel with that gravel bomb, but again, we do have our Stukov going down, and as expected, the bottom fort also going down. And so, as we see, as far as structures, Lowered Expectations slightly ahead, right? We do have actually pretty close, only with the top fort with a little bit of health, they're able to then pick up that siege camp from the side of 210 Blackman Street, while we have Nazeebo again trying to help catch up on Soak. We do see about almost a level lead, about 3/4 of a level lead for the side of Lowered Expectations. So they do need to make up that ground before the next objective. You don't want to be in a situation where the opposing team is 16s and you're not, which would pretty much secure the objective for Lowered Expectations. We do have all 5 members going mid. Again, that slush ball able to provide or disable that structure. And with the Asmodan trait and minions, we do see Hyperion being pulled. Going to be able to get quite a bit of value, and it looks like this middle fort will be going down. We do see the engage on the May with the Planet Cracker. Or actually, it wasn't May, it was Raynor. But we do see Deckard and Raynor go down. Ravenous Spirit trying to get that Sonya. She might get away, although we do have a new fighting with the May, but we actually get 3 members going down, so pretty good value. And since they were slightly behind, that gave a lot of more XP for them. We see 210 Blackman Street take that siege camp. As the rest of the team postures, and Gaslo almost chunking that Asmodan. I believe he's just going to secure the top fort, and that does go down. So we do have Lowered Expectations slightly ahead when it comes to structures with that middle fort. We do have Engage coming in. Good gravel bomb, but Sonya and May able to walk away, but actually does go down to the silence. A noob getting snowballed, but actually snowballed into Asmo. And we do have 2 members, and right before the objective, but it looks like they'll be slightly behind. Is either working on softening that middle fort for the next shrine, but not bad timing. And you will see that a few of the ults were used, and they won't be available just quite, or not just quite yet, by the time this shrine starts, and it is active. We do see the members of 210 Blackman Street move over right away, and for the first time in this match, they get a lead on the shrine with all the members on Lowered Expectations gathering up to contest this objective. We see Raynor providing some damage, but right away we have 22. And with Asmo, he can snipe some of these away, but only every so 8 seconds, right? We do see Hyperion going on to try and help secure the globe. Coming through doing on some damage on the noob. Sonya leaps on the Stukov and does go down. Gravel Bomb catching Raynor while the objective is secured for 210 Blechman Street. This is a Mortar Punisher. And it leaps on Raynor, or Sonya, I believe. And Sonya goes down with help of that Punisher. And so we do see it marching straight to the mid keep. Leaps on the main, but should be relatively safe. Asmo's still up, which will help greatly defend this. And they do have to be careful. Asmo's still at 200 stacks. We do see, and it jumps, and right away it follow up with a noob. But it has to then back off, being targeted by the towers down to, oh, no, not quite. Had about just under 400. We do see the fort being secured, middle fort being secured. With that, members of 210 Blechman Street decide to back off, move over to take the siege camp on the side of Lowered Expectations, while the Bruiser camp was picked up on the Zebo. The 4-man rotating down to take the bottom siege. And again, we do see, for the most part, the map turning red, or on my screen, orange. And with level 20s, I imagine you have to be careful if you are Lowered Expectations. You're going to have to deal with these camps. Let's see what level 20s we have. We have Bomb Toss from the Gazlo, Controlled Chaos, Singularity Charge, Hive Master, and Vile Infection. As you can see, we have our Nazebo just a few stacks away from completing that. We have 4 members at the top, but they're trying to soak what they can safely, and it looks like they should be able to pick up level 20 by the time the next objective comes up. Next shrine will be bottom, and so with that, 210 Blechman Street opts to soft siege, but again, against in Asmodan, that can be challenging. Oh, we do see the May misses the avalanche. We do see May going down. Sonya spinning, but getting chunked. And that's something that I'm surprised. If you are Lowered Expectations, I imagine you just wait for 20. And now you gotta be careful if you're Lowered Expectations. You have May and Sonya not available for for 40 seconds, 35 seconds. And if you get picked off here, the 10 can potentially end. Even with that, it's going to be a typical defense. A newbie right away getting and Asmo going down. And with that, it looks like we do see the silence coming with Decker, or the sleep. But I imagine this is going to be pretty rough defense. Raynor getting low. 4 at 60%, 50%, going down rather quickly. And with that, do imagine it will be game 1 going on to the side of 210 Blechman Street. It's a very good and strong showing. So we do have our stats here. We do have Gazlo, surprisingly, with the top damage. And then Asmo and Phoenix running out the top 3. It's overall very low, with not many kills either. 12 to 6, but again, favoring the side of 210 Blechman Street. When we look at the healing, relatively close with Deckard and Stukov. XP, again, we have the Nazebo and Asmo. Relatively close, but it really came down to the objectives. They were able to take advantage, especially late. That last engage, I think Lowered Expectations probably wish they have back. They just needed to wait a little bit more until they're level 20, but they opted to engage down a tier, and they're about, I think, just about half a level from being level 20. I'll leave the challenge screen for a little bit for those of you who would like to review that. And so, for the most part, everything, the only thing, I guess, Cocoon, but in the end it worked out. But yeah, again, very good job on the side of 210 Blackman Street to be able to kind of pick their fight and then go all the way to core with that last fight and getting 2 members on the side of lowered expectations. So with that, while we wait for the teams to set up for game 2, we'll move over to the intermission screen and we'll take a short little break. All right. And looks like we do have a lobby set up and the teams are joining up. And it looks like we're going to be going to Brax's holdout. So it looks like 210 did pick Brax's. We're moments from getting started. We did have map bans being lowered expectations, banning out Sky, Temple, and Towers of Doom, and 210 Blackman Street banning out Tomb of the Spider Queen and Dragon Shower. Looks like we're waiting for one member. So again, Braxis. It seems like if you were here with me earlier, we did have exact maps that were picked today. Right now, our earlier match in Division E East, we did have it in front of Shrines and Abraxas, and we're seeing Deja Vu in a Division E West matchup, with having Braxis being picked out as the second map. And so with that, we're moving over and over to our draft screen with all the teams going in. We do see the noob being banned out, and I think the noob did provide a lot of CC, but again, didn't go with Cocoon. So, but I mean, it worked out. But again, Cocoon usually is what you're concerned when it comes to a noob, and being able to isolate a member and kind of make at least a temporary 4v5 fight. We do see Anduin being banned out from the side of 210. And with that, we do see the Varian banned out again. So we have Orphea, Varian, pretty much very similar bands, with except I believe there was Anduin and a noob. And right away, I was going to mention this is a map that if you do have a Rexar player, Rexar tends to be a very strong hero, at least in the off lane, which tends to be the top. And with that, we do see Dominator picking up Phoenix, and then Johanna being picked up on the side of 210 Blackman Street. So now that we have the offlaner, wonder who 210 will try to counter that with. We do see the Stukov being picked up, and we do see the May being picked up. And again, I think this is, again, also a very nice map for May. It's good on point. Can provide help with a siege if they go Slush Ball, as we saw last time. Let's see. We do have Deckard being banned out. So we do see the same bans, except now we do see the Deckard. But last time the Brexar was banned, but obviously first picked right away. Orphea was banned out with the third ban. But with that, we do see Brightwing now being banned again. Brightwing able to provide support to the top, and obviously that's going to be valuable with the Rexar. Very few heroes win a trade against Rexar. Sometimes it becomes very skill dependent, but usually you see like potentially a Maltiel. We do depends on to see Akira, and I've seen Deathwings that can win that matchup against a Rexar. But again, that's excuse me, skill based. We do see Kel'Thuzad being picked up, and again, this is one of his better maps, since you know the heroes have to be in a certain area, right? And there isn't a lot of rotations happening. We do see the Gazlo being picked up, and then that's followed up with Gul'dan and Greymane. So again, Gul'dan, this is being one of his better maps, and we will see a Lili. Huh. How do you imagine they got either banned out? guess can help with that Greymane. Can help with the damage that comes out from the Gul'dan. You don't see any rotations or any switches or anything. And so if you are 210, I'd imagine you would want to be careful. You don't want to let that Kel'Thuzad stack. Overall, I think we do have, again, on the side of lowered expectations, Flephius on that Gul'dan, Dingo on the Mei, Malfrix on the Stukov, and the Funk on the Greymane. Kickanek will be playing that Rexar. Dominator on the Phoenix again. Asterix on the Johanna. Blanchard on the Lily. Arda on the Gaslow. And Lloyd on the Kel'Thuzad. And right away, we do see that Phoenix will be playing the solo laner. So actually, not bad, because he is able to trade out some of his shield for exchanging maybe some of damage on that Rexar, but it's a still relatively tough matchup, especially if he gets stunned out of his E if he tries to dive that Rexar. So Rexar is just going to have to be careful not to allow the Phoenix to get too much value. We do see the Gazo being bottom, and so, which I do like, able to provide some more stuns to help that Kel'Thuzad land his combo. And with that, we do see low blow. We do see this being a chaotic energy. So W build Gul'dan, which I do find surprising since E build is so strong on this particular map, especially with doing damage and wave clear. And as well, of note, we did see Johanna go with that Zealous Glare, so double blind, which is surprising. I mean, again, that level 1 provides a lot of sustainability, and with the Lily, I don't know if another blind is needed. The only person you can really blind is that Greymane. So, again, interesting choice. I guess they were imagining... Oh, yeah, never mind. See the Phoenix, but the Phoenix... we see that the body able to secure the bottom objective. Rex are even able to secure the top. We do see them fighting on point. And the Kel'Thuzad going down. First blood. With Johanna having to be forced to back up. And that's what I mean. That double blind makes you have to back up a little bit more as a Johanna. And also against a Gul'dan. I imagine being able to heal up more valuable. Greymane diving, but this is a relatively quick objective, and the Phoenix not able to get much value top against a very difficult matchup. But unlike the earlier game that I cast today, which really took one objective all the way to the core, we see a fast one here, only taking about 2 minutes. We do see Phoenix pushing the little wave, trying to get some value to force Rexar to go back. Misha helping with that. But the big wave bottom. We see Johanna being low and will be going down. But Lloyd able to get the revenge kill with his Kel'Thuzad. And it looks the bottom wall is down, but again, going to be difficult to get much more than that. You see the Rexar still fighting with that Rexar. And they get bottom, Sippy Cup, and towers. On top, just about half damage. So overall favorable trade, not surprising. lowered expectations had the bigger wave. So it'll be interesting to see if they try to switch sides or again, I think this is a losing battle for this Phoenix. We do see Gasso going up. Oh, I thought they were going to go up to help. Both teams picking up their bottom camps. Help us trying to step up to get stacks, but you have to be careful with that. So that Grey Mane can blow you up. And we do see that. Oh, getting low, able to teleport out. 210 Blechman Street, able to clear out the siege camp on the side of lowered expectations. And we see the mate diving, the Kelpals are able to get away. And we do have Kelpals at 10 stacks, so if they're the way there. So again, be mindful that as the game goes on, we do have the Kelpals getting stronger. And we do see May going Slush Ball. Like it will provide value. Trying to siege into the opponent. Forts and keeps. And we do see a full W build Gul'dan. And again, I'm surprised by that. We do see Rexar taking the Bruiser camp. With the rest of the members of 210 taking their own siege camp as the beacons go online. We have Grey Mane capturing just a little bit. They'll get about 12% of the objective. And there you go. Misha makes a very good target for that. Kelpals having to back off because the Grey Mane focusing him. It looks like they're able to secure this, but Gul'dan able to siege away bottom, get about half, a little bit more. It was I think it was already kind of pushed a little bit. We do see the Phoenix rotating down, and now might duel with this Gul'dan. But oh, I'm surprised, Dominator. You actually the W was down. I mean, Gul'dan will have some damage, but I think you would have been able to trade that, especially after the. You can bait out the life drain and then teleport away. That leaves Gul'dan relatively vulnerable. We still see the members from both teams fighting for that top objective, and we do see Gul'dan able to secure the bottom one, so we'll see progress continuing, and it looks like we see the rotation back up from Phoenix. Oh, in a very bad position. Does teleport in, so now we do see with level 10s, we see the snap pick on Unleash the Boars. Horrify, Avalanche, and Cursed Bullet, as well as Massive Shove. The members of 210 getting low. Misha getting low. All the while, Gul'dan got to secure the bottom. Oh, nice snowball into that Phoenix, and I don't think he obviously does not have. Oh, okay. I was gonna say no. Not the massive shove that saves the enemy. We do see Grab a Bomb. So on the side of our 210, we do see Frost Blast, Grab a Bomb, Planet Cracker, and Jug of 1,000 Cups. But with that, they're able to secure a few more, or actually it'll be the whole objective with Johanna down, not able to contest this. We do have Kel'Thuzad at 26 stacks, so almost there. But with that, we do have a full wave. And looks like all the members of 210 are going to stay to help defend this. You have Planet Cracker that does provide some value in helping clear the objective with the Zerg wave. And was rather effective. Even with the full wave. The wall went down, but relatively going to be safe. We do see Rexar bottom starting to push. Kel'Thuzad still at 26 stacks. Canuck pushing down and then opting to probably realize getting rotated on. We should see the members of Lowered Expectations move over to their siege camp, as do the members of 210. We do have Gul'dan complete their chaotic energy quest. Now granting mana costs are permanently reduced by 20. We have Lord, or all the members of Lowered Expectations in the top lane. It looks like they're going to try to invade. We have Johanna anchoring there. Stops the rotation down. Lowered Expectations deciding to back up. They're on even talent, so this is not a fight you want to take with level 13 almost online for your... You see Cursed Bullet being used. Go with a cooldown. And Kel'Thuzad able to get Mei... Able to survive briefly. Mei does go down. And Mei always rather tanky, but that was a 4v5. And again, if you're Lowered Expectations, you just wanted to wait for 13s. And with that, we do see the side of 210 move over to invade, and Rexar having to back off. And looks like Misha might be going down. And so this is now, I think twice now that we see Lowered Expectations kind of taking a fight or being in a position that they got engaged on when they didn't need to be. They had this slight XP lead. We do see Phoenix moving down, help support that siege camp. It's a siege camp. I always mix up the names. We have Boozer camp. Misha and it looks like all the members except Gul'dan bottom. We have Gul'dan responding top, dealing with 3 members, but I think he's gonna have to be relatively careful. And if you're Gul'dan, you do have to be careful. That combo, oh! I have to say that the chains always are so weird. It seems like sometimes you get caught from such a long distance. We do see though, with all the members top, Lowered Expectations right away getting damage into the bottom. While we do see Gul'dan going down, but I mean they're trading that for damage on a bottom keep. And with Greymane, it looks like this is going to be going down. Mei's Slush Ball being able to... Oh, Mei's not there actually. I was going to say Mei's Slush Ball providing value, but Mei's not even there. But Misha being able to tank. We do see them then back off. And with that, we traded a fort for a keep, and that's usually not a good trade. So we now, bottom is going to be getting catapults, and that's something that, I guess on this map, it's not usually a big problem. But we do see that the Zerg wave is going to be favoring that bottom keep. So very good play on the side of Lowered Expectation. We're kind of setting up the wave to go straight to core, but they're gonna have to fight for the objective. We see Johanna with the Blessed Shield engaging on them, but we see the combo going out and no one really being caught on the cannon. Johanna went kind of deep, able to blind members, and Kel'Thuzad just eating a lot of damage. Johanna being feared. We do see Rexar go down. And with that, already having 2 members down, Gaslit goes down as well, and I would imagine this is going to secure most of this objectives with 16s online. 210 Blechman Street can't really step into to contest this, and I'm actually surprised that Lowered Expectations didn't move to boss. It looks like 210 was potentially thinking the same, and they went to sniff it out. No one's there. We do move bottom, but again, Johanna having to back up, and it will be a full wave. We do have Planet Cracker that should be up about the time that the wave is almost towards the bottom of the core. But they do have the tools to kind of whittle down this wave. But again, if you're 210 now, flipping rolls, you got to be careful because you have you just picked up 16s, but a couple of kills can secure a win here. We do see Planet Cracker come out, and again, great value, able to get quite a bit of that Zerg wave. We see Gravelbond hitting the Grey Main. And with that, and look, oh, great avalanche, and catches 3 members, and follow up with the silence and the stun from the Blizzard, and it looks like 4 members going down, and that's likely GG. We have Lowered Expectation taking game 2, and now it looks like we'll be going over to a game 3. And kind of flipping it. We saw that the last match, 210 able to secure after the objective and go to core, and we saw this here on the side of Lowered Expectations, taking game 2, and also now taking us to a game 3 in this round 2 playoff match for Division E West. Just looking at the stats real quickly. We did see Phoenix having the top damage. However, Gul'dan and Greymane following that up. And we did see it be 12-5. So again, in favor of Lowered Expectations. So actually, let's go back to stats real quickly. Sorry. Looking at the healing, relatively close. The XP, for the most part, close. But again, Rex are proving to be a difficult challenge for Phoenix to overtake. And with that, able to secure the objectives quite often. But again, when it comes down to, actually, I would say, Lowered Expectations, taking that one fight where they were down a talent, or they were equal talents, and they were just about to be 13s. They could have waited, but it ended up working out this time. Here's the talents for all of you to see. Again, 15-minute match. This is the map that tends to go relatively short. Here are the talents for you to review. I think for the most part, I liked everything. I tend not to be a fan of Massive Shove, especially with a Kel'Thuzad. The more your Stukov has to stand still, the worse it can be. But I think obviously that Rexar proved to be the challenge, and Lord or 210 Blechman Street were not able to respond to that, so we can see why it was banned out. But with that, again, as we wait for game 3, I'll move us over to our intermission screen, and we'll be back shortly. All teams get set up for game number 3.
much fear has occupied my space. The only cure it lies between your face.
All right. So it looks like we're going to be going to Cursed Hollow for game number 3, which was picked by Lowered Expectations. So again, we do have an exciting matchup today. And so Cursed Hollow, we're going from a small map to one of the larger maps, obviously, and a different strategy having to be employed here. We did have a player swap, so we're having Slow Cheetah coming in for Blanchard. I was going to say... Oh. Okay. I don't know what that was about, but with Cursed Hollow now being picked up, our game number 3, I should say. Sorry, I'm being distracted by the banter of each team in the lobby. So it looks like we're about to get ready to go to match number 3. So again, match 1 and 2 so far has been one of the team that was able to secure our 20, or the objective, being able to finish with the last one being relatively quick, right? And that tends to be Braxis, is one of the shorter maps. So it'd be interesting to see if we'll probably see a ban from Rexstar again. Although Rexstar not as strong here. Looks like all teams are ready. And I'll move us into the draft screen for game number 3 again in this round 2 playoff match for Division E West. Always do love to see a game 3. So we do have 210 with the first spec. We do see again that Anduin. I believe that's been the consistent ban, if I'm not incorrect. Yeah, we have seen banned in game 1 and in game 2, so we do see the... And with that, we do see Anubarak being banned out again. Looks like we might go with the same bans from match number 2 with Anduin and Anubarak. I would imagine if it's like game 1 and 2, we see a variant ban here. Let's see how good my crystal ball prediction is. We do see Stukov being banned out. So looking like they're trying to choke out, or a healer choke here. They're trying to choke out. They're trying to healer choke Malfrex. You see Artana is now being banned out. Artanas can bring value, being able to do a lot of solo camps if they pick the correct level 1, right? That's the if.
Oh, this is my jam.
Do see Asterix picking out the Lucio. I believe that was banned out in game 1, so that makes sense. We do see that looks like Malfrex does play some of these, but some Lucio.
World is
We do
worth
see the
fighting
Deckard
for.
being picked up by Malfrex, and then the May. But Lucio is actually... This is a pretty good map for Lucio, right? Able to help the team rotate quickly to the objective. We see slow
I hear
Cheetah, or at least showing or picking Diablo, and then Blanchard picking Nazebo. We did have Asterix playing Johanna, so I wonder if this is role swaps or they're trying to play mind games. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I haven't watched a lot of Division E West. But we do see a swap. We do see now the Abathur ban. Typically, tend to see Abathur being a first wave ban. Teams opted not to even deal with that. But this is, again, one of his better maps. We do see that Rexar ban. Not being his best map, but if that's a comfort pick for Kid Canuck, you don't want to let them have it. With that, the next two picks will be on the side of lowered expectations. We have your favorite Tempest Keep boss, Kel'Thas, being picked. Followed up with a Malthael. Malthael being able to, if on a Pale Horse is picked, provide that rotation value and able to soak lanes quickly. Though not a global, can rotate quickly. We do see Lloyd picking the Kel'Thas out again, which is surprising, but I guess the Diablo may be a little bit of a better of a setup. We see Phoenix being picked out. So we're going with a Nazebo, who I imagine is going to be an offlane Nazebo. That's going to be going against a Malthael, which is not going to be a fireable matchup, right? I'll be curious to see if Nazebo goes spider build, because those spiders will eat up Malthael. And now we see a Jaina, so very magey damage on both teams. I like the comp from 210 slightly, but that's a lot of damage. Kel'Thas and Jaina is a lot of damage, but the question is, can they avoid the Diablo engage, and can they avoid the damage from Kel'Thasad and Nazebo at the same time? And likewise, May can also engage on 210 relatively easily. So move over to our in-game screen. But my thoughts are pretty good for both teams, but I don't know what to make of it. Anyways, we do have Telefius on the KT, Kid Canuck on the Jaina, Malfrix on the Deckard, and the Funk on the Malthael. And Dingo on May. We have Dominator again on Phoenix, Blanchard on the Nazebo, Asterix on the Lucio, Slow Cheetah on the Diablo, and Lloyd on the Kel'Thuzad again. We did see them initially split up into 1-1-3, with obviously Kel'Thuzad being mid, trying to get those stacks. By the way, level 1s, we do see Sapphire activate to increase damage. The next Hedrota Cube by 100%. Not what you see picked quite often. We do see Jaina being engaged, trying to get away, but getting body blocked. They are real, but surprisingly gets away the root, and the CC, and the damage from both against the Jaina and the Kel'Thas able to be enough to blow up that Diablo and Lucio. So I mean, that's something you have to be careful of. Is if you get stuck behind those towers, the predator turns into the prey. We just see Maltail fighting the. Ooh, and again, Phoenix is able to trade up a little bit, but that's something that they can do for a while, right? We do see the members of 210 rotating up mid. Engage on the main, but likely, I believe, has the Blizzard, and then we're able to just walk away. We do see Dominator pushing on that top wall, able to Z out. We do see the members, or a couple members of Lowered Expectations, rotating down Province of Vision. They leave, but in comes Diablo, Lucio, and Kel'Thuzad, and you have to be careful. Jaina recognizes that, backs up. So far, we have not seen any camps being picked up, but we do, as I mentioned, that see the Funk on Maltail start the siege camp. Jaina starting the Bruiser camp, but might need some help with this. Imagine one or two members of Lowered Expectations will come help. We do see Blanchard picking up the bottom siege camp with the objective top lane. This is something that if you are... Oh, Jaina was getting really low. I imagine you're going to have to give this up. Jaina's going to have to back, and Nazeebo's bottom. And there's just the potential to be a very bad engage. And we do see the combo come out. Maltail gets away with 200 health, 100 health. And it looks like they're going to be able to channel this. I may be able to delay once, but at this point I think has to. Use Unstoppable, able to get away. Nazeebo rotates mid to help with that Bruiser. But again, has to be careful because of the damage. We do see the Kel'Thuz dealing with that bottom camp. We have 4 members now helping that Nazeebo deal as Lowered Expectations with a slight lead on XP, or about half a level, or almost a level actually. Phoenix dealing with the top camp. We do have Kel'Thuz. Unfortunately, right, went with Mana Addict. Never, ever the best level 1.
Gather tribute or face my curse.
I think for the most part, everything else. We did see the Nazeebo go thing of the Deepa again. Actually, I did question if it was going to be a cute build or not, but going for the range, Dead Rush. Diablo did, or Maltail did go on the Power Horse. See, Slush Ball, again being picked by the main. So, interesting, we have Sapphire and Emerald, right? Emerald's one you see more often, helping reduce healing by 75% for 4 seconds. Oh, the Maltail was not able to get away. Gets picked off by the Phoenix. You see the middle Bruiser camp getting some damage on the towers in the mid lane, while Jaina was able to get some value bottom, right? I think I missed it. Again, it was such a big map, I have to rotate back and forth. Make sure I don't miss any of the action, but Kel'Thuz,
Shall we see who gathers enough
or
tribute this
Kel'Thuzad, I should say, at 13 stacks, so just under halfway there, with about 5-6 minutes into the match. We do have the third objective. The second one was picked up by Lowered Expectations, and if you are 210 Blechman Street, you have to back off with 10s online for Lowered Expectations. I doubt you want to deal with that. We do see Lornado. We do have a Lornado
What's
game.
this? A hero has
Summon Water Elemental, Avalanche, and Last Rites. And we do have one player disconnecting, so move us over to our intermission screen while we wait for them to reconnect. And so again, we have level 10s online in 210 Blackman Street, about a little bit more than half a level behind, so they're gonna have to give this up. Luckily, it's what would be only the second of the tribute for the side of lowered expectations. We did see before that. Okay, it looks like we did have them come back, and they're moving back into game. All right, and we're back. You see the tribute being collected. This will be the second one. And with that, it looks like they're gonna move to take this boss. I do like it, but I guess that invites lowered expectations. They're probably recognized. We don't see anybody. They're probably doing the boss. We're gonna do our own. But I do like this, right? There's not much you can do if you're lowered expectation. Maltail rotating up, but again, with the objective being top, there is a bottom camp that might do a little bit of damage, maybe not too much. The APOC coming out, I don't know if that was, I missed that. Did he try to engage on that Maltail, or were they trying to stop them from rotating? You see Jaina helping clear that camp. We do see 210 siege and secure that top fort. With that, we do have a 5v4. It doesn't look like they're committing to this. We're trying to maybe delay. Maltail was doing the own siege camp, and we still have Jaina bottom lane with that boss. It looks like they're backing off, and they're realizing they can't contest this. We have 2-2. That boss gonna get one tower down and probably the gate as this other boss marches on, but it looks like it was able to secure the bottom fort, and with that its health went down. It probably will also secure one tower. I don't think it required 2 members to be there, but if they respond, that camp will be pushing top, so this is something you have to be mindful of. And with lowered expectations, also picking up the bruiser camp. If they're able to secure this, will be a very strong position. Again, lowered expectations. You are level 12. If you can get a little bit of XP and get 13, this will be a lot easier. We do see the members. Oh, we have 3 members kind of caught out of place. The May recognizing this, and they did go in. All the combos go out. Lots of R buttons being pressed. We do see Lat's rights being... Oh no! Wait, did that kill him? I guess they were temporarily saved, but the actual damage from the avalanche secured that. But then with that, we do have one member go down. Calvas are not able to get a combo, and it looks like we'll be going down. Diablo trying to help the peel. But with that, we do see Jaina and the team kind of split up. Lucia harassing Jaina, but because of that, not able to support the team. And you see Phoenix go down. And with that, as I mentioned, 2 camps pushing, 1 top, 1 mid. With still having the Zebo who's dealing with bottom, you do have to prioritize that bottom fort. Mid likely to take quite a bit of damage, but again, now we see the members of lowered expectations sieging up that top fort. Towers, they do back off, which I am surprised. They are 13s and they're together, so this is something, you know, that you could fight.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
Looks like they opted just to rotate away from the members of 210 Blechman Street. And it looks for the most part that they're going to be able to save. We do have the Apex coming out. A combo coming out with the Planet Cracker. Jaina will be saved with the Snowball. Or Avalanche. I always say Snowball, but Avalanche. We see Phoenix going down as I was busy correcting myself on the name. May getting caught out slightly on the combo. Will be flipped, overpowered. Will be going down to combination of damage from... Oh, we see last rites on the... Oh! Kill Facade surviving with about 150 health. We see only, I think, one stack on last rites. And I haven't called out the combo of the level 10s. I get distracted with all this fighting. We do see APOC, Frost Blast, Planet Cracker, Sound Barrier, and Ravenous Spirit again. And I guess I also didn't call out the low level 10s from lowered expectations. I guess this is where me being tired is coming into play a bit. Phoenix and Water Elemental. You can see obviously it's all Avalanche and Last Rites. As the teams move to get their own booster camp. Level 16's online. You just have to give this up. You don't want to be there. Lucio. As we see lowered expectations, trying to bait them out. But I think 210 Blechman Street recognized that they should probably back off. And they do.
Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
And still about about a third or maybe a quarter of a level into level 16. It looked like they're not going to be able to challenge this particular tribute, and we'll have to give it up. But you have to be mindful that with level 16s, they can pick up this tribute and then just also do their boss. But it looks like not much choice. And well, obviously with the boss for 210, they opt to just do their own boss as well, and likely be tribute and then boss for... Oh, I clicked on the boss. No. There you go. They do pick up their own boss. Why did they do that again? There you go. So why is it highlighting the minion? We do have the members of lowered expectations picking up their own boss as well. Another gentleman's agreement when it comes to bosses. They'll pick up their bruiser camp on the way.
The choice.
So you have a decision to make here. If you are 210, you have a boss pushing on you and then a camp pushing on you. So if you get the curse, you'll get less value. So they opt to just deal with that boss. I agree with this. It's kind of one of those where we just have to bite the bullet. Your potential win condition is top lane, so if you're able to get the objective after this particular tribute, I think you're still fine. But again, we do have that bottom siege camp. And the members of 210 responding to the bruiser camp. Both on even talents for now. About a level behind on the side of 210, and if you are 210, you want to be careful. We do have Malthael top. That could have been a potential time to engage, but obviously I'm all-knowing. I can see everybody, and I can make decisions that others wouldn't necessarily make with less information.
Or face my curse. The choice is...
We do see 4 members rotating up. We do siege camp. But with that, they're giving up position. So now we do have 210 being in a relatively strong position. They know that they're looking at this rotation here. Looks like good move. They're not going to check that bush. May checks it with a Q. Very good move on the part of Lowered Expectations. Figuring out maybe we should check that bush. And not. We do see Phoenix coming out. Light Bomb. All the R buttons being pressed. Jaina going down. Avalanche getting Lucio and the Diablo only momentarily. We see Ice Block coming out from the Zebo. Putting out a lot of damage. Diablo able to overpower, or push back, I should say. The May secures a kill. And they're not going to be able... It looks like they're going to try to dive them. I guess not. But again, with this top camp, it's going to slow down that push. These C4 members... Siege at the bottom. I mean, I'm surprised they're even sticking around because as a Diablo, I would just be, you know, going in there. You don't have to fear any tower damage. We do see, oh, the Phoenix does go in. And Phoenix has to be careful. Taking some damage. And we do see last right securing Phoenix. That's unfortunate. Nazebo trying to push top lane. And now may be rotated on. The 20's about to be picked up. I imagine you have to back up. You don't want to... Uh-oh. So you don't want to scatter deaths right now because they can march straight to bottom heap and then to core. With level 20s, we do see more NATOs. We have a more NATOs game. I love it. Wintermute, Cascade. No one can stop death. And looks like Kalthas is went with the Master of Flames. Oh, we do have to engage on the Bruiser camp. We do see Nazebo unfortunately got rotated on. And another staggered death. And likely means that they're going to be able to secure this objective. So the second curse most likely going on the side of Lowered Expectations, if I were to make a guess or a guesstimation. I believe it's going to be up before Nazebo will be here. 210 hanging out, but I don't know you want to be there. I guess they imagine Maltail's top. Well, they're going to engage. Kind of shows what I know, right? And they're... Oh, that... They're putting everything, but we do see the Maltail rotating down. And Lucio does go down. The bomb is spreading. Diablo getting engaged on. We do see the Avalanche actually pushing the Kel'Thuzad to the boss. And 3 members... Well, obviously... Unfortunately, they're back, but not our poor Lucio. So Diablo loses all his souls. Kel'Thuzad, obviously with Phylactery, was able to come back. Now back down to 0. But I don't know if that's when you wanted to use that. I imagine they were just trying to get something going. But a worse situation now appears to be present. They have a mid camp. Now probably going to be top boss and bottom boss. While Maltail is securing this, I don't think if you're 210 you can engage on this. But we might be reaching a point of desperation.
Now you shall know my wrath.
Diablo going in deep. Gets the APOC with a Ravenous Spirit. No one's on the boss. No one's on the boss. We have Phoenix going down low. Last Right's killing the Kel'Thuzad, and Phoenix also going down. And with that, Maltail did go down, and May as well, but we do have Maltail back up. But more importantly, we do have a boss on core. It doesn't look like it should do too much damage. We'll probably get it down to about, I would imagine, 75%. But if you are Lowered Expectations, you want to go straight to core. It's only Nazebo defending this, and not much that he can do that. And with that, Nazebo does get the Kel'Thuzad, but we do see the core going down with 2 bosses. And again, GG is being called. And game number 3 going to lowered expectations. As we move into our game summary. And again, very exciting match. We definitely went back and forth. I think it definitely got to the point where 210 Blechman Street felt like they were pressed to make a move, but it didn't come out to be favorable for them. We did see Kel'Thuzad. It's difficult having Kel'Thuzad and Kel'Thas in the same matchup. Kel'Thas with the top damage, actually just slightly ahead of the Phoenix, and then Jaina the Nazebo. So overall damage was similar. The kill count was almost double for lowered expectations. We look at the healing, again fairly similar, Lucio and Deckard. As far as XP, we did see Maltail being able to soak quite a bit. And so with that, we do have lowered expectations winning game 3, a very exciting matchup. And so we do have it going 2-1 in favor of lowered expectations. And so let's see if I could get a member of from lowered expectation to join us in the lobby. Oh, he's already here. I was gonna say you're already waiting for me. And again, first of all, congratulations on your 2-1 victory in this round 2 matchup in the playoffs for Division E West. And
thank you. That was harder than we thought it would be, but we were definitely expecting them to put up a good fight.
Yeah, and again, the customary, as I always say, how are you feeling? Question after a back and forth series for the most part.
We're feeling relieved because we have a kinship with Blechman. They're basically we formed 2 teams because we had too many people. We kind of split down the middle. So obviously they're great players. And there was a little bit of smack talk happening before the match, and they definitely put us in our place, especially in game 1.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to go look back. So I didn't see too many of the matches in Division West, and it looks like in your first meetup, actually I clicked on the wrong thing. You actually won, right? 2-0. Okay. And so, but obviously that was early in the season still. And definitely, again, I imagine you scrim often with each other, correct?
Yeah, so we very much know how each other play. And as you saw, Asterix was trying to target ban all the healers out. So he was making it personal against me.
I did notice that. We have in game 1, we did kind of see the Lucio being banned on your part, and we see the Anduin being banned out. Game 2, we did see again healers being banned out. So I did notice that. But real quickly, I want to go to real briefly through all 3 games, and I have a couple questions. Game 1, we did go to Infernal Shrines, correct? And
Yep.
Obviously there was a back and forth kind of matchup. We did see 210 taking in Nazebo, the Gazlo, and Noob. I was surprised that their Noob didn't go Cocoon, but it still came out to be rather useful as far as helping them keep alive. And for the most part, you had a couple fights that you could have secured kills, but it seems like you weren't able to quite get there. And so how did you adjust moving in that particular fight? Or was there anything that you wish you would have done differently?
I think it was really just that first game we didn't factor in especially in late game, how much a noob would be able to control us. Like we were trying to definitely get a lot more damage from our backline. I think it would have helped if we had a bit more damage just to melt them. Like you said, we had a lot of fights that were really close, but we just weren't succeeding at sealing them off. And I think it helped for them that a noob was getting the dives in there and being able to get the stuns and disorient us a little bit from what we're able to do. And in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have been going with the sleep because it wasn't working as efficiently as I was hoping into the fights.
Yeah, and actually, I did notice that was a difference with Game 3. Something I did kind of point out, I think it was at the bottom keep, and I was mentioning in the stream and during the cast, I was like, well, you're not 20 yet. You just need to back off, just wait. And I guess you saw maybe it was called out in comms, like, hey, we're going in. But they were level 20s, and you were still level 19, and that didn't work out for you. And from there, they actually were able to go all the way to core, I believe. And so, is that something where you kind of like, yeah, we probably should have waited?
I think what happened there is our plan was to go to 20s, and they basically dove in on us before we got there. So they knew they had the advantage of 20, and
Hmm.
we probably should have been defending closer to the core and just let the keep go, but that's not what we did.
Okay. Well, I just remember your May going in and using Avalanche. That's, I guess, maybe I missed another dive in the backline or something, but I did see your May going way out of the range of the keep and then trying to use Avalanche. I believe on one of the members. I think it was either Phoenix, I believe, but it missed. And then from that, they could kind of just collapsed on me and a couple members of your team, and so, anyways, they were able to secure game one. And so that takes us on to game two. And I believe you picked Braxis, correct?
Correct.
Oh, you must love pain. So, anyways, we have Braxis. And so now that you kind of, they brought it to you game one, what were your thoughts as far as what were you trying to do and what were you trying to limit on their part for game two?
So or sorry, actually, we took first pick. They took Braxis.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So our hope was to kind of get our lineup set a little bit more efficiently. It helped that their first ban they didn't block out Rexar, so we decided to open with Rexar on there, and it just felt like we built our damage for a little bit more damage to counter what we did in that first game, and we banned out the noob to stop that engage.
Right. And actually, I was surprised because I did see that ban coming through in game one, and I was thinking to myself, I imagine if they banned it in game one, they would not allow that in Braxis, which is literally one of the best mats for Rexard. So that did go through, and kind of pretty much helped dictate how the match went. Right. We did see them pick or have Phoenix go to the top lane, and you can see some success sometimes with a Phoenix or a ranged assassin, kind of fighting with that Rexar. But Misha obviously is like having a little like ATC, right, with a kind of weaker Zul'jin, so it makes it very troublesome. I was curious to see if they would be able to match up with that Rexar, right? We do see Kira, we do see Maltiel, sometimes a pretty good Deathwing can match up into Rexar pretty well on this map, but they were kind of forced to flip and have a Phoenix, but it just never really worked out for Phoenix on the top lane. But with that, we did see them pick up Kel'Thuzad, and I did mention that you probably wanted to be careful and avoid the stacks, and I think you did overall a really good job on avoiding the Kel'Thuzad. Were you concerned about the Kel'Thuzad at all?
We've played, so he's played Kel'Thuzad a fair amount in scrims when we played against him. So our focus was really May was sort of frontlining everything and trying to eat the chains when they did go out, and we basically try to spread out so that he can get the pulls off as much as possible. which definitely helped with reducing the stacks for KTZ.
Indeed. And so it did work out for you on that aspect. And here you're a little bit more dominant. You did get in a slight situation again where you were about to be 13, and this was in the top lane. And again, I mentioned, I'm like, oh, you lowered expectations. You're doing it again. You just need to wait a little bit, and you have a talent advantage. And I guess they engaged on you and were able to get a few kills out of that, but not much came from that. However, because of the pressure of the previous Zerg wave, there was a lot of space created, so they weren't able to capitalize too much on that. But what you did with that, you did have a dominant showing. We did have 12 takedowns to 4, and so you're able to secure with the Zerg wave in the bot lane, I believe. And yeah, that was just too much for them to deal with there. Now with moving on to game 3 real quickly, we just finished that. Obviously, we did see very similar bans out. They banned out Rexar this time, and you banned out the Noob again. I did see an ABBA ban coming late, and typically you see ABBA ban being earlier because ABBA literally will be a first pick. And so, were you concerned about a potential ABBA pick there? I guess.
Yeah, so what their lineup was coming out with, we know that they've done Abba Illidan as a combo, and based on the players that were left to pick out, we knew that was definitely something they might be thinking of. We can confirm with them after
Yeah.
this, but we figured the Abba ban was probably the best option.
Yeah.
It pretty much guaranteed that Denom was going to be picking up Phoenix again, and we weren't too worried about their final pick.
I guess that's the benefit of having, I guess, your sister team that you scrimmage quite often. You kind of know the tendencies and a lot of what you expect out of them. But overall, again, we do see they win with the Kelbos and then this time the Zebo. And for the most part, we did see have the Phoenix being a pretty consistent pick on the side of 210. You did opt to go with a Kelthos and a Jaina. Not something you see too often. So we had a lot of mages in this particular match. And I guess I was surprised because I think they had the last pick, and I guess they could still could have gotten something like a tracer. I guess that was not a concern. I was thinking like if there's a tracer player here, they could have a field day here, but obviously I don't think that was a concern. Overall, you did a good job of controlling the match, and so again, leading us up to kind of towards the end of the match, you had some mounting pressure, and what were you trying to achieve at the end there? Because obviously you saw that they were able to kind of get a few picks. They were trying to force some fights at the bottom. What was your reaction to that?
So we noticed that they're really trying to, since we had stuff pushed up, that they were trying to kind of rotate between mid and bottom, with Lucio obviously being able to help them rotate a lot quicker. So our goal was basically just to have Malthael going off, clearing off the lanes. We'd clear off the other one. We were spotting whenever the camps opened to give us that additional pressure. And then we got lucky with a gank. I think it was Lucio at mid. And then from there, we were basically able to get that last trib. A few of us didn't notice that the gate was open on the top lane, so we wound up doing a long rotation to the bottom, so we probably could have been a lot more efficient to finish off the match. But yeah, we kind of knew what their strategy was to try and pick somebody off that was a little further ahead.
Yeah, and I felt like 210 could have maybe let you get that curse and maybe even defended right. They did have a Nazebo. Nazebo is not the easiest hero to siege into, but obviously you were picking up that. I guess those when they were trying to get a fight on you at that your own bruiser, and Malthael was doing the top camp at the time, and I think it obviously from bird's eye view and hindsight vision you could say that was not a good call, but I kind of see what they were trying to do, but they made a decision. It didn't work out in their favor, and you were able to obviously get 2 bosses and go straight to core with that. But anyways, enough with that. Again, congratulations. I'm trying to look at now Division C or Division E West. I don't think the other teams have played yet, correct?
No, there's still Nerd Herders and A Team, I believe.
Tomorrow. They play tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remember because I remember I did see that. I was trying to remember because I've been casting quite a few matches, and so I remember like, oh, this is E West, not A or B that I casted the other day. So it looks like they're going to be playing tomorrow, and so then I guess I'd imagine Nerd Herders have been pretty dominant this season. Obviously, is there a team you prefer to face?
I think we'd prefer to face a team because we were able to beat them. But we also know that Nerd Herders are a very dominant team. They haven't lost a single game all season. So I will give props to a team and I'll watch the match and I'll be rooting for them.
Yeah, and just whoever wins is, I guess, going to be your opponent, right? But with that, again, I'll leave up the rest of the time for you to give out any shout outs or anything else you would like to say.
Perfect. So obviously, shout out to the team. Even though we, didn't pull off the first match against Blechman, we regrouped and we re-strategized and we were able to pull off the win. So awesome job to everybody on the team. Shout out to Blechman as well. You guys played amazing. As much as we shit talk each other, it's always fun to play with you guys, and we look forward to any games that we can have. I'll give a little shout out to Screaming Nachos because I was going back and forth with Atomic Alien, and I told her that we were going to try and avenge them by being Blechman. So that'll be the little bit of shit talking that we'll have there. And of course, thanks to you for casting. It's always great to have a caster, and I'm definitely going to go back and watch the match afterwards and listen to the analysis that you give, because hopefully that will give us some insight on what we can improve for facing Nerd Herders or the A team.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of, a lot of things I say would be capped and obvious, but again, there was a couple times I did mention, like, well, maybe you want to back off, and maybe, but overall, it's obviously easier for me. I'm sitting in my couch, not having to stress, or not couch, my chair, and not having to stress, and I know in the game it's a completely different situation, but I think you might find some maybe useful tidbits for your future matches. But again, with that, I'll let you go to celebrate with your team, and again, best of luck to you. Now you're going to be going into the Coastal Final for Division E West, so best of luck with that.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Have a good night. And so with that, if you were with me last time, I was going to be stopping, but then I had a second wind. Long day for me, but like I mentioned, I'm at the point of either second wind or delirium, but I was happy to be able to cast this match. We did have a very exciting 3-game series from Lowered Expectations and 210 Blackman Street, and with Lowered Expectations coming out at top. And so with that, again, I thank you to all of you who joined me this evening and watching this round 2 playoffs. And with that, I will leave you out, and I'll see you around next time in the Nexus. Have a good night.